Welcome back to our channel Historic Coin Treasures, where we uncover hidden coin rare discoveries and the real stories behind historic currency. If you love history, treasure, and the possibility of life-changing finds, subscribe now and let's discover the next hidden fortune together. Top 1. In this video we are exploring the story, mystery, and collector excitement behind the famous 1988 D Lincoln cent. This tiny coin may look ordinary at first glance, but certain rare varieties and mint errors have made it extremely interesting for collectors around the world. The design of this coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in American history. His image has appeared on the penny since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The coin series itself is known as the Lincoln cent, and over the decades collectors have discovered many rare and valuable varieties within this series. Now let's focus on the year 1988. During this year millions of pennies were produced at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D mint mark located below the date on the coin. These coins entered circulation across the country, and most people spent them without a second thought. But coin collectors always look closer. Sometimes the minting process produces small mistakes. These mistakes are known as mint errors, and in the world of coin collecting, errors can transform an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible point. One of the most talked about varieties connected to the 1988 penny involves a subtle but fascinating detail related to the mint mark. During the 1980s, the United States Mint transitioned to a new style of mint mark punches. Because of this change, a very unusual situation occurred in 1988. Some coins show a mint mark style that actually belongs to the following year. This rare variety is known among collectors as the 1988 D over 1989 mint mark variety. It happens when a die intended for 1989 coins was mistakenly used to strike coins dated 1988. When experts examine the mint mark under magnification, they can see the distinctive shape that matches the later design style. For everyday people, the difference is almost invisible. But for experienced collectors, that tiny detail is incredibly exciting. Finding one of these varieties in circulation is extremely rare today, which is why collectors carefully inspect every 1988 D penny they find. Another reason collectors pay attention to this coin is the possibility of double die errors. A double die occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed onto the die more than once in slightly different positions. When coins are struck with that die, certain letters or numbers appear slightly doubled. On some 1988 D pennies, careful examination of the date or lettering can reveal subtle doubling. These varieties may not be obvious without magnification, but collectors who discover them know they are looking at something special. Off-center strikes are another error that can dramatically increase a coin's interest. This happens when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned inside the press. The design may appear shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent-shaped area on the coin. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more attention it attracts from collectors. There are also cases where the coin shows die cracks or die chips. These occur as the metal dies begin to wear out after striking thousands or even millions of coins. Small raised lines or bumps appear on the coin surface where the damaged die transferred those imperfections. For collectors, these features tell the story of the minting process. They show how the coin was created and how the tools used to make it aged over time. Condition is another major factor that determines value. Most 1988 D pennies circulated heavily, meaning they show scratches, wear, and dull surfaces. These coins usually remain worth only a small amount above their face value. But occasionally a coin survives in exceptional condition. Coins that were never used in circulation may still display bright luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces. Collectors refer to these as mint state coins. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it can become. Professional grading services carefully examine these coins under magnification and assign them a numerical grade based on their preservation. A perfectly preserved coin from 1988 is surprisingly difficult to find today because most were used in everyday transactions for decades. That is why collectors enjoy searching through rolls of pennies, coin jars, and old collections. The excitement comes from the possibility that an overlooked coin could turn out to be something rare. Imagine opening an old jar of pennies and spotting a bright 1988 D coin. You place it under a magnifying glass and begin examining the mint mark. Could it be the rare variety collectors are searching for? Moments like this are what make coin collecting so thrilling. Each coin carries the potential for discovery. Many collectors recommend checking three main areas on this coin. First, examine the mint mark closely and compare its shape to known varieties. Second, inspect the date and lettering for signs of doubling. Third, look for unusual strike characteristics such as off-center designs or die cracks. Even if you do not find a rare error, learning how to examine coins can be a fascinating hobby. Over time, collectors develop a sharp eye for small details that most people would never notice. The 1988 D penny may appear ordinary, but within the world of numismatics it holds a special place as a coin connected to a transitional mint mark variety and several interesting errors. Collectors across the United States and around the world still search for these coins today, hoping to discover one that stands out from the millions produced. So the next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies. Take a closer look. That small copper coin might hold more history and excitement than you ever expected. Now let us talk about value. Most circulated examples of the 1988 D Lincoln penny trade for only a few cents. However, uncirculated coins with strong luster and sharp details can sell for several dollars to several dozen dollars depending on condition. Top 2. Today we are exploring one of those coins that many people overlook but collectors keep an eye on very carefully. The Lincoln 1 cent from the year 2002 with the D mint mark. At first glance it may look like just another modern penny, but within this simple coin lies an interesting world of minting history, hidden varieties, and rare conditions that can turn a common coin into something collectors dream about finding. The Lincoln cent itself has a long and fascinating legacy. First introduced in 1909 to honor the birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it became the first circulating United States coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. For more than a century, collectors and everyday people have admired this small coin. By the time the year 2002 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already gone through many changes in composition, design details, and minting technology. Yet the basic appearance remained familiar. On the front of the coin we see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the words "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2002. Just below the date sits a tiny but very important letter for collectors, the D mint mark. That small d indicates the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The United States Mint facility in Denver has been striking coins since the early 20th century and is known for producing billions of pennies each year. In 2002, the Denver Mint produced a huge number of Lincoln cents, which means most examples found in circulation are very common. But within those millions of coins, a few special pieces stand out because of condition or minting errors. When collectors search for a 2002 D Lincoln cent, they are not simply looking for any coin. They are searching for coins with unusual characteristics that make them rare. One of the first things collectors examine is the coin's condition. Coins that were never used in circulation and still show their original bright red copper color are far more desirable than worn coins that have turned brown from years of handling. Collectors use grading terms to describe this condition. A coin that looks almost brand new with sharp details and strong luster can receive a very high grade from professional grading companies. When a 2002 D Lincoln cent survives in superb mint state condition with perfect surfaces, it becomes much harder to find. Most coins from this year were quickly used in daily transactions, so truly pristine examples are surprisingly scarce. Another exciting reason collectors study the 2002 D penny is the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors occur during the manufacturing process when something unusual happens while the coin is being struck. These mistakes create unique coins that are often much more valuable than normal pieces. One of the most interesting errors collectors hope to find is the double die effect. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally duplicated during the die creation process. When the die strikes the coin, certain letters or numbers may appear doubled. If a 2002 D Lincoln cent shows clear doubling on the date or lettering, collectors immediately become interested because these varieties are far rarer than ordinary coins. Another error that sometimes appears is an off-center strike. This occurs when the blank coin planchet is not perfectly aligned in the press when the design is struck. Part of the design may be missing, while the rest of the coin appears shifted toward one side. Coins like this often look unusual and dramatic, making them highly collectible. There are also coins known as die cracks and die chips. These occur when the metal dies used to strike coins begin to wear or develop small cracks. When the damaged die hits a coin blank, it leaves raised lines or lumps on the surface of the coin. Some collectors enjoy finding these small details because they show the life cycle of the minting tools used to produce the coin. Another factor that can make the 2002 D Lincoln cent special is something called a broad strike. This happens when the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally shapes the edges. As a result, the coin spreads outward and appears wider than usual with no defined rim. Errors like these are rare and fascinating because they reveal how coins are made inside the mint. Even though millions of these coins were created, collectors still search bank rolls and coin jars hoping to find one extraordinary example hiding among ordinary pennies. The excitement comes from the possibility that a single coin could show a rare error or remain in stunning condition after more than 20 years. For new collectors, the 2002 D Lincoln cent is also a great coin to study because it teaches how small differences in condition can change value dramatically. A worn coin that circulated for years might only be worth its face value, but a perfectly preserved example with bright red color and flawless surfaces can attract attention from serious collectors. Professional grading services carefully evaluate these coins using microscopes and strict standards. When a coin receives a top grade, it becomes certified and protected in a special holder. Collectors trust these graded coins because their authenticity and condition have been verified by experts. The story of the 2002 D Lincoln cent reminds us that even modern coins can hold surprises. Every coin carries a journey from the mint to the hands of millions of people. Along the way, a few coins escape heavy use and remain in remarkable shape, while others gain unusual features because of minting errors. For coin collectors, this search is part of the thrill. A simple penny could reveal a rare variety, a dramatic mint error, or an incredibly well-preserved piece that survived decades untouched. That is why collectors never stop checking their change. Somewhere out there, the next discovery could still be waiting in an ordinary pocket, so the next time you see a 2002 penny with a small D under the date, take a closer look. Study the letters, examine the color, and look carefully for anything unusual. You might just be holding a coin that collectors would love to add to their collections. Now let us talk about the value that collectors are willing to pay for this coin depending on its condition and rarity. A normal circulated 2002 D Lincoln 1 cent usually trades for about 1 to 3 cents in the collector's market. Top 3. The coin we are talking about today is the 2018 Lincoln 1 cent from the United States. This modern penny may look simple at first glance, but for collectors and coin hunters it can hold surprising value, especially when rare varieties, mint marks, and mint errors appear. Many collectors believe that modern coins cannot become valuable, yet history has proven that even very recent coins can become sought-after treasures when certain rare characteristics are discovered. The Lincoln cent itself carries a long and fascinating legacy. The design honors one of the most respected presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln. His portrait appears on the front of the coin, a design that has been used on United States pennies since 1909. The coin was originally created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and since then it has become one of the most recognized coins in the world. On the front side of the 2018 Lincoln cent you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head appears the word Liberty, while the year 2018 is placed to the right side of the portrait. Beneath the date you may notice a small mint mark depending on where the coin was produced. On the back of the coin you will see the Union Shield design. This shield design was introduced in 2010 and represents Lincoln's role in preserving the United States during the Civil War. The Union Shield design symbolizes unity. The vertical stripes represent the states coming together, while the horizontal bar at the top represents the federal government holding everything together. Above the shield you will find the motto E Pluribus Unum, and across the top of the coin you will read the words United States of America. At the bottom appears the denomination 1 cent. During the year 2018 these pennies were produced at several United States mint facilities. The most common mint marks include Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced coins for different purposes, including circulation coins and special collector coins. The Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of 2018 pennies for circulation. These coins do not carry a mint mark. Millions upon millions entered everyday circulation, which is why most of the 2018 pennies you see today are very common. However, condition plays a major role in determining value. A perfectly preserved coin that never entered circulation can be worth much more than a worn example. The Denver Mint produced coins marked with the letter D. These 2018 D Lincoln cents were also struck in huge numbers. But even among these common coins, collectors search for flawless examples and unusual mint errors that can dramatically increase their value. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors. These coins are specially struck using polished dies and carefully prepared planchets to create a mirror-like finish. Proof coins are not intended for circulation and are usually sold directly to collectors in protective packaging. Now here is where things start to become truly exciting for coin hunters. Even though millions of these coins were produced, minting mistakes can turn an ordinary penny into a rare collectible. These mistakes are called mint errors, and they occur during the production process at the mint point. One interesting error collectors search for is the double die. This happens when the design of the coin is accidentally impressed twice during the die creation process, creating a visible doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. On a double die penny, you might see doubling on the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." When this type of error is clearly visible, it can make the coin highly desirable among collectors. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike. During the minting process, the blank coin may not be properly aligned when it is struck. This causes the design to appear shifted toward one side, leaving part of the blank surface visible. Off-center coins are very popular among collectors, especially when the date remains visible. There are also coins known as die cracks or cut errors. Over time, the metal dies used to strike coins begin to wear and sometimes crack. When this happens, the crack transfers onto the coins being struck, leaving raised lines or unusual shapes on the surface. Some collectors love these unique characteristics because each one tells the story of the minting process. Another rare possibility is a clipped planchet. This happens before the coin is even struck. When the blank metal discs are punched out from a sheet of metal, sometimes the punch overlaps the edge of the sheet or another blank, creating a coin with a missing curved section. These clipped coins are very distinctive and easily recognizable. Collectors also search for coins with unusually strong strikes, sharp details, and brilliant red color. Copper-plated zinc pennies like the 2018 Lincoln cent can lose their bright red color over time. Coins that remain fully red and perfectly preserved are far more desirable than coins that have darkened or worn down through circulation. Professional grading services play an important role in determining the value of these coins. Coins that receive extremely high grades are often placed in protective holders and sold through auctions where collectors compete to obtain the best examples. The difference between an average coin and a top-graded coin can be dramatic. A small detail such as flawless surfaces, sharp edges, and strong luster can increase the desirability of a coin among serious collectors. Many coin collectors enjoy searching through rolls of pennies from banks, hoping to discover rare varieties hiding among common coins. This hobby is known as coin roll hunting. Even modern coins like the 2018 Lincoln cent can surprise collectors when unusual errors appear. Imagine opening a roll of pennies and spotting a strange-looking coin with doubled lettering or an off-center strike. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story includes a mistake that turns an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Even though most 2018 Lincoln pennies are common, the possibility of finding a rare mint error keeps collectors searching. Some collectors examine their coins using magnifying glasses or microscopes to carefully inspect every detail. The world of coin collecting teaches patience and attention to detail. A coin that appears ordinary at first glance might reveal something unusual under closer inspection. That tiny difference could mean the coin is far more valuable than expected. Collectors also enjoy building complete sets of Lincoln cents from different years and mint marks. Adding a perfectly preserved 2018 example to a collection can be very satisfying, especially when the coin shows brilliant color and flawless surfaces. Over time, modern coins can become more desirable as fewer high-quality examples remain available. Coins that were once common can slowly gain attention from collectors as years pass and pristine specimens become harder to find. Now let us talk about the value of the 2018 Lincoln 1 cent. Most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, coins in brilliant uncirculated condition can sell to collectors for around $5 to $10 depending on their quality.